People like me, urban planners, city officials, architects, land developers, we're often responsible for designing and creating policy that shapes how you experience your neighborhood. But the truth is, we don't do a very good job when it comes to listening to women of color, especially about how neighborhood conditions impact personal safety. In fact, this project exists solely to give Black women the chance to show, rather than tell, policymakers what's happening in their neighborhoods. Empirical research, as well as Black feminist thought, has long recognized that women of color are impacted by what Patricia Hill Collins calls interlocking systems of oppression. These are the dangerous intersections of sexism, racism, and economic injustice that result in higher incident rates of gender-based violence, as well as less support from courts, the police, governments, social services, and other institutions. Further, women of color often live in neighborhoods that have long-standing legacies of disinvestment and neglect, resulting in the creation of spaces in their neighborhoods that both reflect and reinforce their marginalization within American society. However, these realities are often unaccounted for in urban policy and planning, both in practice and among scholars. This set of circumstances, unfortunate as it is, also inspires hope for change. Gina Shofala, Joachim Gulilat, and Vanessa Morrison are my partners on this project. Together, we decided to facilitate what's called a photo voice project in Northeast Oklahoma City. This is the traditional African-American enclave of the city. The project was sponsored by the OU Humanities Forum, the College of Architecture, the Women and Gender Studies program, and the African and African-American Studies program at OU. In the summer of 2016, the four of us as facilitators invited 26 women of color with a shared, meaningful connection to the northeast side of Oklahoma City to work together to educate each other and policymakers on their experiences in their neighborhoods. Together, this group of amazing women spent the summer documenting conditions in their neighborhoods with a camera and a critical eye. Their photography was intended to capture images in two broad categories. First, what was challenging or problematic to their own safety and their day-to-day enjoyment of their neighborhoods? And second, what about their neighborhoods was life-giving and joyful? It was important to capture both kinds of images as a part of the project because African-American neighborhoods are already highly stereotyped, and we wanted to show a fuller picture of life on the northeast side, as well as show policymakers the good that thrives there that needs to be fostered and celebrated by the city. In Photo Voice, you first use the pictures you take to teach yourself. So a lot of our time was spent discussing how each other's images speak to common experiences across the board in the group. From these conversations, the group honed in on a set of themes that were important to get across to policymakers and anyone else who would view the photographs. These 13 themes connect to things you might expect given the topic. For instance, many of the images are of abandoned properties or environmental hazards and the impact that they have on women and children as they go about their daily activities. These places not only leave dangerous and dark spaces in otherwise life-giving neighborhoods, but they sap the community of their sense of pride and well-being. Similarly, while a few local parks were beneficial focal points to the community, many of the parks in the neighborhoods were too neglected by the city or considered too dangerous to use and therefore just became another derelict space. Other ideas were important because they weren't obvious. For instance, the pictures reveal the importance of local Black-owned businesses to the experience of Black women in their neighborhoods. These businesses, many of which are owned by women, create a sense of belonging, perseverance, and a sense of self embedded in community connectivity. Similarly, the images show how, in the parts of northeast Oklahoma City that are experiencing renewed investment and gentrification, the new investment isn't necessarily making local women feel safer. For instance, there's new buildings, there's new sidewalks, there's new street lights going up in certain places, but the faces that are coming into the area are new to the women, and the new investment doesn't feel like it's for them, and this adds to a sense of exclusion. Other themes include a call for improved relations with local law enforcement, more healthy lifestyle options, and the reestablishment of vibrant neighborhood schools at the heart of the community. All these images, along with each individual's explanation of the image's meaning, was combined into an exhibition. The first showing of the project, called the Women of Northeast Oklahoma City Photo Voice Project, had its opening night in October of 2016. It was a powerful night because it brought together the women, their families, along with city council members, city staff, local real estate developers, area nonprofits, and everyday citizens. People milled about viewing the photographs, reading the captions, but also talking with the women that had created them about their stories, about their experiences. The opening night was well received. In fact, the very next day, we got a call from City Hall asking that the images be displayed right there in the City Hall lobby. I think this speaks to the power of the women and their images, many of which were critical of the city because they speak a plain truth that in the end was embraced by the city. The exhibition is now a traveling show. It's being hosted all around Oklahoma. Further, we're moving it online so it can reach an even broader audience. I should mention that perhaps the most important outcome of the project was that the women decided they needed to be at the table if the concerns of Black women were to be taken seriously. They want to play a meaningful role in the development of their neighborhoods. They are now looking for resources and partnerships that will help them become developers or start their own nonprofits in the area. It has been one of the great privileges of my life to have worked with this group of women.